Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Expert with Coach BJ and my special guest tonight. Come on in this evening. We are ready to get into talking about real estate tonight. Oh my gosh, the real estate market is really booming right now for some, and for others, it's kind of challenging. But our guest is going to definitely give us some great information tonight. So as you are coming on to this live, go ahead and let us know that you are here so we can greet you and say hello as you come in. So say hello tonight. And anyone out there who knows someone is looking to buy a house, looking to sell a house, looking to invest in a property, just have some general questions about real estate, maybe not interested in either right now, but just kind of curious about what's going on with the real estate market. Definitely share this live with them because there may be some people who might not even be thinking about selling their house. But after this conversation, they may kind of think twice and consider that, selling their house right now in this market might be a great idea. So anyone who you know who's looking, or anyone who's currently renting and maybe looking to buy, our guest tonight is going to be here to ask questions along with the content that she's going to bring tonight. So you want to be able to grab her ear tonight, like I said, to maybe ask a couple of questions as it relates to the real estate market. And I see that my mom has joined, my aunt, and my top fan, Deborah, she is on already tonight. So thank you, ladies, for always coming on and watching. Feel free to share this again with anyone who you know who is looking to buy, sell, invest, who is currently renting and maybe looking at buying or trying to see if it's even a good time to buy right now for them and their personal situation. So again, they may have some questions for our expert tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into introducing her. So as you guys still come in, just let us know you're here so we can greet you and say hello. So our special guest tonight is expert associate real estate broker, Tomekia Carter. I have been knowing Tomekia for now almost 3 years now, a little over 3 years now. Actually helped me and my husband and I sell 2 of our investment properties and purchased our new home 2.5 years ago. We met through our mutual friend, our beautiful friend, Londa, where she has also helped Londa and other friends sell and purchase homes as well. So one of the things that I know about Tomekia is that she is heavily referred. People love her. She is committed to what she does. When I tell you, when Londa first gave me her number, you can expect a call back from her today. Trust me, within leaving that message, I got a call back within 2 hours to say, hello, this is who I am. What can I do for you? So she is definitely, I'll call her Johnny on the spot. So she's definitely not to worry about somebody dragging on, not calling you for days. I had that experience before getting, her number when I was looking for real estate agents at the time when we were looking at, houses and that kind of thing. So it's just been a beautiful friendship, beautiful time, since there. And so before we get into our topic tonight, I want to share a little bit about Tomekia so you can know a little bit of her background and who she is and why she is my guest and our expert for tonight. So Tomekia Carter of Caldwell Banker, Atlanta and Buckhead is an Atlanta native and has served the Buckhead community and the surrounding area for over 20 years. Tomekia has had a long passion for real estate for decades that's built with relationships with people within the communities near and far that she now calls friends, i.e. me. For Tomekia is very simple. She genuinely treats every home as if it was her own. If she can't see herself living in it, she would never advise her client to sell or purchase a home just to move on for her own personal gain. She wants her clients to love their homes for years to come. So she focuses on the initial consultation in terms of what the client wants and needs are. And she takes those key notes from all of the feedback from her listings and buyers showing appointments. When her clients get overwhelmed with trying to make a decision, she refers them back to the original plan. This helps keep her clients focused on what they truly desire. And I can attest to this, and I know others can too, because a lot of times when you're getting to the buying and selling and purchasing and investing and all the things as it relates to real estate, I have been a real estate investor myself and still have a rental property myself. So I really do understand this. but you can really get lost in this process. You really can. And so it's good that Tomekia is very intuitive with her clients to really, again, bring them back to original, because sometimes we need to go back to the start.
That's
go
right.
back to why we even met. Go back to the very beginning. That what did you say initially that you wanted, right? It's almost like me as a coach, doing a discovery session. Let's go back to your initial goals, right? And so Tomekia is doing the very same thing in her industry in real estate. Like, hey, let's just focus back on, the top goals that we talked about during our first conversation to be able to really take you back to what's important, right, as it relates to real estate. So I'm going to stop talking now. And so without further ado, please welcome tonight's expert, Tomekia Carter, and feel free to ask any questions in the chat. As you guys always know, when the experts come on, I'm behind the scenes looking at your questions, and we will be putting them up on the board. As more people come on, we'll put more the questions on the board as you guys ask your questions or any comments you have for our guest tonight. So again, without further ado, Tomekia, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Coach B. I really appreciate it. So guys, welcome. I am here to talk to you about the real estate market today and what you guys can expect in reference to buying or selling a home. My topic this evening is going to be basically 5 reasons to sell your home this summer. There's 5 reasons right off the top. There's a high demand for home buyers. There aren't enough homes for sale. I'm sure you guys know about this. You have a lot of leverage in today's market if you are a seller. Let me be clear. It's a great way to use your home as equity, and it's a chance for you to find the home that meets your needs. So much has changed over the past years, including many of us needing to work from home. So spending extra time where we currently live enables us to reevaluate home ownership and what we find most important in homes. So today, when selling a home, most homeowners hope for a quick and profitable transaction that puts them in a position to make a great move, right? If you're waiting for the best time to win as a seller to win, the market is calling your name right now, people. Buyer's demand is strong, and the buyer activity in the market, which tracks the average number of buyers showing on residential properties, recently is showing that it's up 51.5% compared to this time last year, right? So this is anticipated. We knew this was coming last year. We evaluated this and continues to the beliefs and effects that the low inventory on average, each home is getting 50% more requests this year compared to January of last year. And as we head into the summer months, it's likely that we're going to push into even more extreme territory that as the supply starts to catch up with the demand. We here ourselves bought our home back in, actually this Sunday will be a year for us. So we bought last year on July 11th, 2020. And I was speaking with Coach B about it. And I said, I just looked up the comps just to see the last time I checked, our home value had increased by $75,000. And when I was speaking with Coach B earlier, it's showing on realtor.com that it's at actually $101,000 in a matter of a year. Guys, this is unprecedented territory that we're in. We're never going to see these interest rates that we have right now and the capital gains that you are going to receive from selling your home. There just isn't enough inventory out there. So nationally, the inventory for homes in February decreased by 48% over the last year. The higher rates of decline compared to 42.6% drops in January. This is the available homes, the available inventory that we currently have. It's just an imbalance between buyer demand and low supply of homes for sale that gives each of us an advantage. So a seller always negotiates the best deal with the demand in the high supply and low demand. So that's exactly what's happening in real estate right now. So for example, I have a property that was listed for $450,000. This is the market that we in across the board. I had 10 offers come in at least $30,000 to $40,000 over the list price. That's good and all, but if you are not putting your money where your mouth is, the bottom line is you can offer a higher price. The home was priced at $450,000. Offer came in for $74,80. If the buyer does not have a stipulation in that offer that states that in the event that the home does not appraise for the contract price, which would have been $480,000, the buyer agrees to pay X amount of dollars over the appraised value. In this particular situation, the home appraised for $460,000. The buyer agreed to bring $25,000 out of pocket over that appraised value, because remember, the banks, the lenders, they're only going to pay what that home is valued at. This is happening across the market with all buyers. So if you don't have enough money to be in this real estate market, to play in the game that's happening right now for sellers, it's going to be really challenging for you. And unfortunately, a lot of people are, we don't have inventory, so they need to get into these homes. People are relocating. And so they need to get into these homes. So they are kind of hit with no choice but to either pay the overage or get into new construction. A lot of people are going into new construction simply because they don't have to worry about being in a multiple offer situation and they're paying over appraised value. Some people just don't want to do that, and they decide, I have the time to wait to go ahead and have a home constructed at the value in which new construction is. So that's a great direction for a buyer to go in if they don't have X amount of dollars to pay over that appraised value, or they simply just do not want to do that. But that's not necessarily the case for all buyers. Some buyers need to get situated into their homes right away, which means they're going to have to consider paying over that appraised value. So again, seller's market. So number 3, you have a lot of leverage in today's market. Again, clearly many more people are interested in buying in this summer market than selling, creating that ultimate seller's market. When this happens, homeowners' positions to sell has the upper hand in negotiating. According to NARS, agents are reporting that there are 3.7% offers per home, and I can attest to that, and then an increase in the bidding wars. So as a seller, this means that the ball is in your court. The sellers knows this, so much so that you can use your leverage to negotiate the best possible contract, which we do, because there's more to leveraging a great offer outside of price. You also have to make sure that the terms are tight within that contract, within that offer that you're submitting, i.e., how much earnest money is the buyer willing to contribute towards the offer. A year ago, you could do 1% of, let's say, $450,000. In today's market, people are putting down 2 or 3% because that's going to give them more leverage when they submit their offers to the sellers. So if you're submitting, an offer for $480,000 on a $450,000 price home with $30,000 earnest money on the table, that shows the seller that you have skin in the game and you intend to purchase this home. You also have to look at due diligence periods. Again, a year ago, we were probably asking for 7 to 10 due diligence days. Now we're asking for 2 to 3 just to get the home inspected right away. These are the terms that are tighter that makes the seller geared towards your offer versus other offers on the table. So you have the earnest money, you have the due diligence period, You also have whether the seller wants you to use their closing attorneys. It's a seller's market. So you want to do whatever the seller wants you to do in hopes to win that listing when you have anywhere from 10 to 20 offers on the table. There is also the financing contingency. Typically, a financing contingency days take about 21 to 28 days on average last year. Now, we're seeing anywhere from 7 to 14 days to, honestly, guys, 0 days. That's going to be dependent upon whether you have gone through underwriting as a buyer and your lender. You will go to your lender to find out, hey, is my buyer in a position to submit an offer with 0 financing contingency days? That means that your financing is completely through underwriting and you are good to go. These are really good key things to have on the offer when you submit them. Again, in hopes that the seller will accept your offer. Even if it is seven days, that's still better than the 21 to 28 days financing contingency. Another thing, being your lender being available to speak with the listing agent in terms of where their client is and how ready they are. Making sure that you create a relationship with the lender and the lender's availability to be there for the listing agent when they have questions. Where are we in the process? Having weekly updates on where that client is. All of those things are key factors. And when you are submitting an offer and you want to win that offer with the 20 offers on the table, it's necessary for you to submit that offer. And right after you submit that offer, get that lender on the phone with the listing agent to say, hey, here's where my client is. And a lot of times myself and my lender will team up and call that listing agent to show the togetherness and where we are and how diligent we are with getting our client through this process as quickly as possible. And that shows a lot of partnership when you want to win that listing. Let's see. So due diligence, when you are going through the due diligence period and things come back on the inspection report, you want to make sure that you're only asking the seller for necessary items to be repaired. They are lived-in homes. You don't want to nitpick them about small things. We're looking for big ticket items, okay? Plumbing, fixtures, mold, roof, electrical, things of that nature. We want to make sure that we're only asking the seller for things that are necessary because, the seller can actually opt out and say, hey, I don't want to do these things. And the deal is we want to be fair on both sides because I do represent both, but we want to make sure that we're not asking for a ton of things so that we can very well get to the closing table and all parties involved are very happy with the process. Anybody have any questions? I know I've said a whole lot. I want to pause and see if I have any questions before I move on. Coach B, do we have anything? Okay, I'm going to keep going. She hasn't chimed in, so I'm guessing we're good. Okay, so number 4, it's a great way to use your home equity. So according to the latest update, is it good to refinance? Okay. Yes, it is great to refinance. You're behind the 8 ball. Go ahead and get refinanced. The rates are at an all-time low, guys. Right now, you can literally, depending on your credit, you can get an interest rate still in the high 2s, low 3s. I have a client that just received refinancing for a 30-year fix at 2.9%, and this is an FHA loan. So conventionals tend to be a little bit more lenient on those rates. So yes, you can certainly go ahead and look into refinancing. And if you need some assistance on that, we'll give you my information at the end of this, and I'm happy to help. Okay, so again, number 4, it's a great way to use your home as equity. So equity is a type of forced savings that grows during your time of home ownership. and it can be put towards a bigger goal, like buying your next dream home. Again, I just spoke on the equity in this home and many homes that I actually have listed right now, where this one, it's, the value has gone up tremendously. I have a few listings right now where there are clients that are capitalizing off of this market right now and are moving into bigger homes. Okay, guys, I have a question here. Yes, you want it to be at least 1%. If it's not at least 1% when you're refinancing, it's not worth it. And I would also add to that, depending on where you are with the terms that are left, be it 20 years, 25, 30 years. If you're closer to the 30-year mark, it's okay to go ahead and start back over for the 30-year mark if you're going to get at least 1% break on that refinancing. But if you're closer to the 15-year mark or 20 or 25, go in a direction where you're closest to that number. If you're at 24 years left and you don't want to start back over to 30 years, you want to actually see what the monthly mortgage would be if you refinance for the 20-year term. Any more questions? Okay. Okay, so number 5, it's a chance to find a home that meets your needs. So much has changed, guys, over the past years, including what, many of us need in our homes. And as homeowners, we've gained tons of equity. I've said that before. There are so many more likely to consider using that equity to purchase a larger home for a more attractive home. The wealth effect of rising equity in today's housing markets, fast rising demand against the limited supply of homes for sale, has resulted in a continued price increase. Sellers, now is the time to buy. Now is the time to sell. Now is the time to sell for you to capitalize on this market that continues to appreciate, and we will see this clean through October, if not longer. We're predicted to see a little bit of a slowdown as the buyer demand comes up a little bit more. But yeah, right now, sellers, capitalize off of this market. If you can sell, now is definitely the time to sell. Okay, guys, I have a question. How can I make sure I don't lose the equity I've earned in my home if the value of my home drops when the market drops? Well, we all know the saying of what goes up must come down. So there is a way in which you can refinance some of the equity out of your home for to make repairs on your home. However, you don't have to use that money for a home equity line of credit, You don't have to use that money for that, but you can refinance out of that for that reason and have the money set aside so that in the event that the market drops and the value of your home starts to decline, you have already pulled that equity out and set it aside in that home equity line of credit. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? So there are those 5 reasons why now is a good time for you sellers to sell. I also want to kind of, touch base with the buyers as well, because they also need to know, like, what is it that they can do, to compete in this market, because it's super competitive, very frustrating. Inventory is extremely low. So I just want to touch on a few points with buyers in regards to what you guys could possibly do to compete in today's market. The first thing I want to say is be patient. Be patient. We don't have a lot of inventory. It's going to change. You're definitely going to have some funds saved up. to compete in the market. We've had some down payment assistance program, what we call DPA programs, and there are some that are coming back. They're coming back full circle. But right now, when listing agents such as myself sees a down payment assistance program come across my desk and we have 15 other offers, we're probably going to skip that. Here's why. It takes 45 days for a down payment assistance program to close on a loan when a typical loan takes about 30 days. So where before they were giving, up to $15,000 to down payment assistance programs for those buyers that were in need of it, and they still are, it's really hard for them to accept those offers when you have the conventional offers and the FHAs and VAs on the table that can close in 30 days. So what I'm saying to my clients is, hey guys, it's not a matter of if you can buy, it's when. You just want to save up some money. Sometimes you can get gifts from family members to help you out with that. But you do want to have some skin in the game so that you can get your own financing and not have to worry about being rejected because of the DPA programs. And not all offers require you to pay over list price. We can certainly offer that. And when the appraisal comes back in, if the home doesn't value at the contract price, we can certainly go back and renegotiate those terms. It's not a one size fit all. We can certainly go back and renegotiate those terms, but the seller does have the right to say, hey, I'm not selling my house for this appraised value. And we have to be okay with that if we don't have extra funds to meet the seller in the middle, as I would say. For example, if you're under contract for $250 and the value comes back in at $235, meeting in the middle would be the seller would take a $5,000 break and you would bring $5,000. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. The thing about that, the good part about that, if it doesn't appraise, and the seller doesn't want to sell, you don't run the risk of losing your earnest money. The bad part is we would have to start over. But I don't want to discourage buyers from getting out there, looking for their homes because of this. It's just a patience game. Not everyone is going to require you to pay more than what the property is worth. The other option that you have, again, is to go new construction and certainly just pay what the home values are, truly, truly worth. So any more questions for me, guys, out there? All right. Well, Coach B, that is it for me. I just wanted to come chime in with you guys and give you a little tidbit on what's happening in today's market. If anybody have any questions, we are going to share my contact information with you to reach out to me. If you want to schedule a personal consultation, I am happy to assist you guys with any questions, whether you're ready now or later on down the line with your selling needs or buying needs. I am always here. So thank you so much for chiming in today.
Absolutely. We just thank you so much. And we have Raisha saying thank you so much for all of the information. And even for those who are going to watch the replay, again, you see the information on your screen. Like I said, she is my personal realtor. And like I said, has done a phenomenal job with me and my husband's properties. So we really appreciate her. She is amazing. We do have another question. So let me get it up there. Okay.
How does it work when you take out an equity loan, home equity loan? So when you take out a home equity loan of credit, it's basically refinancing. You're refinancing and you're taking the equity that you have in that home and you're either going to set it aside or you're actually going to do some repairs on your home. So basically that's what it is. It's refinancing the equity that you have in the home to utilize the funds for what it is that you need to utilize those funds for. But you will be starting over if you pull all of the equity out of it, but it's yours. Mm-hmm.
The thing, like she stated earlier, I mean, people are willing to pay. We was talking about this the other day while we was going through I have a check with all my guests and we were talking and, she was just telling me, which I was surprised. So it's like got me and my husband contemplating whether we want to sell one of our investment properties because, I mean, these investors and buyers are willing to even pay up to 20% over the asking price.
Right. That's right.
Is what she's sharing with me. And so that's like huge. So if you probably were thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
and you probably don't even realize because you haven't checked that you have a lot of equity.
Yes.
Like you mentioned earlier, I mean, her property went up $101,000 over the they paid for in just 1 year.
Yes.
So for those of you who've had your homes, believe it or not, you think, oh, my home is older, nobody might not want it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised what the value is. Tomekia, tell us what is a good website to check the value.
I would like for them to check the value of their homes.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them to call me so that I can give them a true value of what their home is worth in today's.
Kind of off. So yeah.
No, it's okay. It's totally okay. So that I can give them a true value of what their home is worth. I can certainly pull the comparables in their neighborhood and do comparables that way, but I couldn't give them the true number until I see with their home with the naked eye. But I can definitely give them an average without coming to their home. So they'll see the minimum versus the maximum amount you can get without me setting foot in your home. But if you have, like upgrades that you've done, let's say you live in a community and the homes are pretty much alike, but you've done a whole lot of upgrades, that's value that we need to add to your property to get you top dollar when you do decide to list. At least they will have the information.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so great. So again, as you can see, you can reach her via email, carter.tomekia@gmail.com. The website is www.tomekiacarter.cbintouch.com. So you can get in contact with her either way. If we don't have any more questions, I'll go ahead and close out by mentioning next week on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a special edition of Another Evening Spotlight. It's going to be with a new program that I have developed and created. It's called Path to Purpose. And it's one of those things that God really put in my spirit to come together to take all of the coaching techniques that I do with my clients, all of the things that I've researched, all of the things that I've learned, and really put a program together that's really curated to really help people find what they've been born and designed by God to do. I'm so excited to talk about the upcoming 5-day challenge that I'm going to have coming August 9th. Monday, August 9th is going to be a 5-day challenge, your path to purpose. So if you're someone who haven't been intentional about your life, someone who's have been in a career for years, and you just really don't know what to do, how to figure out what's your next level in life, definitely meet me on Tuesday at 7 p.m. If you're somebody who has career burnout, and you feel like you've been called to a greater work, meet me next week. And if you're a person that just are still trying to discover who you really are, because that's really a major block in a lot of people not really knowing and understanding what their path to purpose and what they've been called to do. Again, meet me next Tuesday on July 13th, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, same place, same time. I have already released and sent out the advertisement and the links and everything for next week. So if it's not you and you know someone who could really benefit from really finding what they've been called to do, to really live a life that is fulfilled, meet me next Tuesday. You won't regret it as I talk about my upcoming challenge and what it's going to be about. And I'm just very excited. And it's just more confirmation because I've had so many people reach out to me lately, either torn about making a decision about what they should do next. I have a client now, a private one-on-one client who reached out to me recently, who I started with a couple of weeks ago. Same thing, have a great job, make great money, but just don't feel like I'm doing what I need to do, right? And so I want to really speak to those people and really help those people get clear on what that is within just these 5 days. So I'm really excited about my new program that's coming out that I'm going to be sharing next week. And so if you want more information, as I said, look at my social media websites, _Coach BJ on all social media websites except Facebook. Facebook is at The Source of Hope 1. You can find the information there. My website is www.thesourceofhope.com. So I look forward to connecting with you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me and my expert tonight, Tomekia Carter. Thank you so much. You have been just great tonight. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.